Hello and welcome to a new video. So today I have the Black Deep dungeon that I'm going to be showing you. I did solo Templar with my HK. I'm showing off my gear right now just so you can have something to reference. This is a post commentary. I play without sound, so there's nothing too exciting there. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through my thought process. A couple people have been asking for a video or wanted to see me do this, so just figured I'd upload a video with some commentary. The dungeon itself is pretty straightforward. There's nothing too exciting to do until you get to Elga, or Egma, my bad. Yeah, I mean these first mobbing sections are pretty simple. The run was decent. Nothing too crazy. It was my best run. I had a 52-53 was the final time, as you see in the title, but this is the first time I've done it with this SC, so I'm sure I can do better. Plus I died, I think I died once or twice, which obviously isn't ideal, but I was a little rusty. It's been a couple weeks since I ran the dungeon. Excuses, I know. When a Nae spawns, you just want to kill her. Easier said than done. She's just gonna stun you, but if you have HK, you can silence her. Helps out a lot doing that. Just want to keep on mobbing. In case you've never done the dungeon before, each guard drops a key. Gotta make sure you pick up that key. You need 3 keys to open the final boss door. If you don't have them, you can't enter. And it won't be the first time I've had to run back to the beginning to grab a key. It's always fun having to do that. Ruining a run. These spiders up here, they're pretty tanky. Just want to grab a bunch of them. Do as many as you can. I get AoE caps, so this is about as many as I can do at a time. There's no sense of pulling anymore. Here I'm setting up cross, battle crying, light orb, nightmare queen, and then moonlighting. And I'm just gonna go to town on these things. I have a beast socket in my blade, and then I also have another 3-socket blade that I swap to with a human socket when I get to Egma, but I won't use that until I get to her. The vast majority of monsters in this dungeon are beasts, so it's the more important socket to have, because then you can just turn your brain off and you'll never die. Here I'm kind of just waiting until I see my cross disappear, and then I'm probably gonna head over to the next pack, start mobbing them. Yeah, so cross goes out, I head over to the next ones. Just trying to reposition him so I don't knock them too far away or in awkward positions. I always try to remember to battle cry. It's very easy to lose track when you're double accounting. As you can see, I didn't mention it yet, on the right side, showing my my set swaps that I'm doing. I'm set swapping for Ascension, I'm set swapping for Light Explosion, and I'm set swapping for Light Blast. The Light Blast one isn't too crazy, or well, I'm doing the chest, pants, boots, and then 2-piece strike set. Yeah, 2-piece strike set. That's giving it, I think, 55% extra damage on Light Blast. So Light Blast is actually my hardest hitting ability. But I can't do the 5-set swap during bosses because I have to take off a ring and my necklace, and I lose too much aim. I lose about 2,000 aim whenever I have to do that. So that's just, it's not worth it. I miss too much on bosses when I have to do that. So I'll just do a 3-piece swap. It's still worth it. I won't be crit capped anymore because my boots will go down from 9.2 down to like 6 or something, so I'll be a little bit under crit cap, but it's still worth the extra damage that I'm getting. Even if I don't crit, on average it'll be better. Coming up to the last few spiders, all the shrimps are gonna spawn. Here you just want to try and grab as many as you can all at once. Just clean it from like left to right, up to down. Just don't want to backtrack too often. Their magic attacks can hurt, so you want to be careful of that if you're a little bit on the squishier side. And they don't pull very far, so you want to make sure you don't go out of range without hitting them. Otherwise you're gonna have to run back to them. And I think I missed a shrimp on this run. I think I do have to go back and grab a guy. Oh, maybe it's a different run I'm thinking of. Maybe I got them all. Yeah, I did get them all. Oh, but that spider is walking back. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that dude's just minding his own business. I'm using my cleric to grab him, but yeah, it's just a mess right here. This is very sloppy by me, but it happens. I think I did a quicken battle cry there because my moonlight's about to come up. And I want to use that whenever I can. I always try to save battle cry with my ascension, or battle cry with my moonlight, just to maximize the big damages. Keep placing my cleric's speed buff too. That's always a nice thing to have. Makes you go zoom. That with a T7 scroll on your Usain Bolt. The second set of mobs is the same exact thing. You just want to clear them as efficiently as you can, kill the bosses. Here I was getting a little unlucky. My skill wouldn't go off. I was just standing there, but I got it off in the end. And here I'm gonna start doing the old tab back and forth between clerics so I can get my bashes in. I don't know why I'm not dropping across here. I don't know if I didn't realize I didn't have it down, but either way, there's the cross. It was a little late. Had a moonlight battle cry there with 5 bashes and a cross, and you start hitting like a truck. That shark didn't want to follow me. Kill those guys, just head on to the next mob. Like I said, this dungeon is pretty straightforward. Nothing can really kill you if you pay attention. I mean, I don't even have my my set swaps enchanted, and I still don't really die. The swapping back and forth between the cleric is gonna be a very common thing for this run, especially on Agma. You have to get those silences in, and my aim isn't quite high enough on the cleric to comfortably hit her. I can still get shrieks where I'll miss her every now and then, or not every now and then. I'll miss her sometimes 5 times in a row, and it's quite annoying. But my aim on my cleric is like 12,400. So I'm definitely lacking, but I don't have any Calzar rings on the cleric, and I don't really feel like buying them. So he's gonna have to make do without him for a little bit. But if I did get him, that'd be another 10% aim. It would push him over 13k at least, and that'd be a little bit nicer, but I'm just not into it right now. Coming up here, we got the Darethel. It's the start of the annoying run. Basically, the Darethel and the Arazel and the Morzel, they just all suck. Everything sucks. I don't enjoy doing this mobbing section at all. You gotta do these guys one or two at a time. Otherwise they can really chain stun you. And like if I were to do that battle cry Moonlight and get stunned on it, like right there, I got stunned. That's just wasting some of my optimal damage time, and it just feels bad. Right there, I got stunned again. Just sucks. So, you just want to focus them down. Nothing too special. You're going to get stunned. There's nothing you can do about it. You can see how hard the my Light Blast is hitting for, though. I think my Heroic Strike is hitting for around 50,000. If I would get unstunned here, be able to see. Yeah, Heroic Strike's hitting for like 55,000. Light Blast is hitting for like 72k. It's quite a big jump. Definitely hits a lot harder. 68 I saw. Quicken Battle Cry just to kill these Darethel a little bit faster. Here I'm gonna target the Alganite on my cleric. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm going to just silence him whenever he does his knockback, because right there I silenced him. You can just knock him out of that. You can stun him out of it too, but he likes resisting the stuns, so you won't always get them off. And once he sucks you in, it's annoying if he does knock you back, because then the Arazel are gonna slow you. Everything's gonna get messed up, and it's just gonna be a not fun time. So you just kill him, burst, AoE all the others. These guys aren't too bad, they just do a slow on you, so. I think I start tabbing in between them soon, once I see that they're low, because I know my AoEs will finish them off. It's actually, it's tough to try and find the mobs that are high HP. You don't want to spend too much time just tabbing, then you're just wasting time, but you want to try and focus the higher HP ones, that way you just let the AoEs clean up all the people you know are gonna die by the time you're not a single targeting anymore. I think duoing this with a wizard would be insane. HK Templar wizard, really any class, wizard, any other class. You could do Glad if you wanted to. Glad's Shred Egma if you can, if you have enough damage to Survivor. Getting down to low HP during some of her damage phases. Be quite interesting, but I'm a Templar simp, so I'll stick to my Templar. Here we have another Darethel section, nothing too exciting. more alert than I would have liked, but I think I get pretty lucky here and they don't really stun me too much. Just waiting to see if I can get my light orb down. As soon as that happens, I'm gonna quicken battle cry, moonlight. Try and blow some Darethel up. Delete these guys off the map. Yeah, I don't think I got stunned a single time during that moonlight. I got insanely lucky during that. You always want to have your light orb down too. I don't know how many times I've seen Templars just not place light orb. So stupid. I had 3 Darethel on me. I don't think I got stunned a single time during that moonlight. This guy stuns me like 2 or 3 times in a row. Just it depends how lucky the game wants to make you feel. Normally, when you get to these Morzel, I usually try to kill the 5 at a time, and then I just tack the Phoenix on because they're just trash. They don't do anything. So I'm seeing if I can get a cross down, light orb down, and then I'm gonna try and do as much damage as I can. But if you were to lure some Darethel on top of these, I mean, you start getting knocked back indefinitely, and it's just a pain. Even 5 Morzel is sketchy. I mean, they can cancel your AoEs. Like right there, my Light Blast got cancelled. Advent got cancelled. Pretty much anything, any skill you have with a cast time, you can just count on it getting cancelled. If you're fighting Morzel or Darethel, you can count on it happening. It'd be nice if we were untargetable when we were doing Advent, but I guess that'd probably be too strong. But I mean, I'm flying up in the air. I mean, come on. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, finishing off these Morzel. Got 2 more to do. I don't remember if after these guys, I think I run up to the top 5 Morzel. I try and knock them out. Because I think I'm going to go up there, pop Moonlight. By the time I finish killing them, I should have it back. I can do it on the mob down here. Yep, okay, so I'm going up here now. Got knocked around a little bit, but it was okay luck, I suppose. Here, I didn't get stunned too much. I got AoE off right there. Was able to kill 1. Meh. Not the greatest, not the worst. And again, it never feels great running this dungeon solo. I'd much rather just kill Egma twice than have to do this mobbing section. So I haven't really talked about it yet, but every Templar that I've really met does single target differently. The way I do single target damage is I rotate between Heroic Strike, Light Blast, and Light Wind. The only reason I do Light Wind now is because of the 140 set. I wouldn't have done this before, but since it has damage on it now, I do. I'm pretty sure it's better than just auto attacking. But if you time your Heroic Strike and Light Blasts correctly, then you can fit a couple auto attacks in between, and you can really see some damage. Like if I cannot be getting knocked back here, you can see some numbers flying off pretty quick. Yeah, it's tough to see here. It'll be easier to see it in Alga. Yeah, right there was a pretty good showcase. Right there, though, on that works. After these wrecks, yeah, one more mobbing section to do, and 2 aqueductors are gonna spawn, and I'm gonna pretty much just single target them out. I don't charm my cleric when I run this dungeon. I think it's a waste. If he gets hit by something, he's gonna die, whether it's charmed or not. So I just don't bother with it. So I target out the aqueductors first because they can do an AoE, and it actually does hit pretty hard. It's about the only mob in this dungeon besides Agma that can do some damage to you. So I just keep my cleric at a distance for those and take them out as soon as they both die, then I'll start mobbing. I'm overall happy with this run. Like I said, it was my best run so far, but it was also the first run I did with the new SC that I put on. So I definitely think I could do better. Because I was originally trying to commentate over it as I was doing the run, but just looking back at the footage of it, it was pretty awful, so I had to redo it. I had to do a voiceover. I think I'm just waiting for my battle cry here, and then I'm gonna moonlight as soon as I get it back. Okay. Yeah, I'm dropping cross again. And I'm gonna drop light orb. I think I'm gonna bubble, yeah, because I don't want my dude to die. Then battle cry, moonlight. And I'm gonna try and delete this aqueductor before it runs out. It runs out of my damage bubbles, classic. These these Elga Guardians, they're not too bad, but they also have a knockback. They don't do it as much as the Morzel, and I think they have a pattern to it, but it's not worth learning. They probably do it once every 30 seconds or something like that, but They tend to always hit you at the worst time. But you can cancel it if you stun them while they're doing their animation, then they won't finish their attack. So there's a way to avoid it, but I never really count on it because they resist a stun or a knockup half the time. Here I'm just trying to hit all the mobs so they follow me and don't run back, or so they don't hit my HK. And I'm targeting the Morzel first, because Morzel suck. I battle cried a little early. I thought I had my Moonlight, but it's alright. Moonlight here in a second. Trying to click on a Morzel, but they all look the same. Finally found it. And the big boy wants to come over, so you want to burst him. So do the big suck. Don't want that on this scenario. There's one thing I hope they don't add back. It's Morzel, Darethel, and Rex. Please do not reskin these mobs and add them into the next DLC. Please do not do that. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, please. They suck. Give me Shellas. I didn't mention it, but the big guy, he drops the third key, and the second big shrimp drops the second key. I didn't mention it, but if you've never done the dungeon before, that's where you get all 3 keys. You get one from the dude in the beginning, one from the second shrimp, and one from that blue knight guy. So we're almost at Elga. That's when the fun starts. If you've never done Elga without her being permafrozen, then here you go. This will be your opportunity to see. She does have a moveset. She does the same thing every single time. So if you learn the moveset, then you can know exactly what she's gonna do. She's gonna start out with, I think, what did she start out with? Fire. Yeah. She starts out with fire, and then she does water, and then she's gonna do lightning, fire. Yeah. Forgive me, I'm a little tired. But you'll see in the gameplay. Here I'm picking up the key. Got me a lucky Elru. Maybe that'll go from 3 to 4. Who knows? And you can click on that instead of trying to use the WASD to navigate when the screen is like this. It'll just auto walk you. In case you don't know. Little tip, make your life easier. Here I mob up all the knights and I take them just behind the stairs. This is a lot easier to do if you're doing this solo, because they'll all group up. That one guy didn't follow because he was being a jerk, but if he did aggro, then he would all bunch up right here into the giant clump of knights. Just gonna kill them all. Ideally, you kill them before they start knocking you back, because when you get knocked back once, then you're gonna get knocked back like 10 times. So ideally, you kill them before they do that. And I'm just trying to set up my cleric in a spot. I'm gonna take Agma down here because there's a little ledge here that you can use her, or this ledge right by the stairs. If you need to reposition yourself, then you can like go on the other side of it, and she'll think you're behind a wall, and she'll like reposition herself. So right there she did fire. She starts out with fire every single time. So I know it's safe because she's going to do water after this, so bringing my clericans for a battle cry and some bashes. And I know she's going to do a lightning, so I don't stay too much longer after. Here's where the silences start. I'm trying to mainly prioritize silencing the lightnings in our first phase because I can just tank the fire. It's not that big a deal. If I can silence it, I'll try to. But she's going to do another lightning after this fire, but then the fire after this lightning, she does it quicker than the other one, so I don't get silence back in time for that one, so you just have to tank that one. Or you can run away from it if you want to, but then you're losing damage. So I messed up the silence on the lightning, so I just used it on the fire, but here she's going to do 5 auto attacks, and then she's going to do a fire, so I know I have a little bit of... oh, just kidding. I'm not paying attention. She did water. It's after this, so she's gonna do lightning, fire, and then 5 autos. After this fire, I'm gonna come in and start bashing again. If you silence the fire, by the way, in her first phase at least, if you silence the fire while she's doing the animation, you're completely safe. Even if she does the animation, still it's not going to hurt you. Same thing if she gets frozen. So after she does the fire, 5 auto into fire, then she's going to do water after that, so you can go back in with your bashes. Just trying to get as many as I can. Here we get a battle cry, we can do probably one more bash and then run, because she's going to do a lightning here. As long as she doesn't move around too much, it's kind of the deciding factor for how well the fight goes. If she stands still while you're in your light orb and your cross, then you're sitting pretty good. But she has a mind of her own sometimes, and she can walk away. I typically try to keep her around the right side stairs, but she walked over here, and I just figured I'd follow and see what happens. And she was actually pretty good. She didn't move around too much. But it's nice to keep her towards the stairs, because you know if she ever walks away, then you can kind of reposition her. Like here, if she walked towards party buff and then did a fire instantly, like I'd have to run right away, otherwise I'm gonna die. But if she went to the stairs, I could kind of bait her back. But she's being pretty nice, and she's just sitting in a corner for right now. So after this fire, she's gonna do another water, so I silenced it, so I know I'm good. Commence the bashing, keep the cross down, keep the light orb down. Just rinse and repeat for phase 1. Phase 1's pretty simple. Phase 2 it gets a little bit trickier. Then you gotta deal with her fire that you can't damage her in, so you want to silence that instead of lightnings in phase 2. And then you gotta be careful of her spawns. She does 3 sets of spawns in her phase 2. She does 25%, 50%, 75% HP. And you don't worry about the first set, it's just a couple of human mobs. If you have a human socket, then you know you can't die. So it's not that big of an issue. You can just tank all the mobs. I don't think I mentioned it, except in the beginning, but whenever I got to Egma, I swapped out my blade for a 3 socket with damage and human HP recovery. Egma is a human, all the mobs she spawns is a human, the bull that she spawns is a human because this game makes sense, so it just works out perfectly to have a human socket. You can do this without it, but trust me, if you do want to try this dungeon solo, or at least without having her perma-frozen, a human socket goes a long way with just helping you turn your brain off to tanking her. You don't gotta worry about pretty much anything. I don't even think I have my light mark on me right now, because it just doesn't matter. Just focus on killing her as fast as possible. There, I missed the silence, so I gotta tank it a little bit. I think here I might put on a light orb because I see him taking some damage, but maybe not. Maybe I just completely disregard it. Oh no, I do right there. It is pretty easy to lose track of what phase she's on, though. Her cycles are fairly similar. There's slight variations, but sometimes you might think it's safe to do damage, and she might be cooking up a fire or a lightning when you're not expecting it. And if my cleric gets caught in a lightning or a fire, he's dead in one tick. There's no chance of him surviving. There's 0 point in me 100% charming my cleric for this dungeon. Even 50% charming, there's just no point. None of the mobs ever attack him. And like I said, if he gets pulled in by a lightning, he's dead regardless. So, just trying to keep my battle cries up. Make sure I quicken when I can. Yeah, see there, she started moving towards party buff, so you gotta make sure that you're paying attention. If she moves, you gotta move your other guy. So we're winding down to the end of first phase Agma. I think it takes about 10 minutes, 10.5 minutes to kill first phase Agma for me. It's actually not too bad. Second phase is a little bit longer. Like I said, you gotta deal with the invincibility that she gives you. It really depends on how lucky you can get with your silences, whether they're gonna hit or not. That and her phase 2, she just seems to move around a lot more. Well, now we're winding down to the end. Don't think I was bashing here, I was just getting ready for second phase, expecting her to die any second now. When she goes in this corner, the camera can glitch out pretty bad, so I don't like taking my cleric in the corner. So if his camera gets messed up, then you gotta spend, seconds or however long to try and get him out of the corner just so he doesn't die, and it can just be a mess, so there's no point in taking him in the corner when you don't need to. So here she's going to start out with the water and do a fire, so you have a little bit of time for damage. So pop everything, pop battle cry, pop moonlight, cross light orb, go to town, try to get my bashes in. And after she does about an auto, you're going to want to silence her. If you get the silence, then you can stay. If you miss it, obviously run. But she's going to do a lightning shortly after, so you can't stay for too much longer on your cleric. You gotta get the hell out of there. I got sucked in there. I stayed for too long, but I managed to get the silence off before the lightning actually ticked twice. So my cleric survived, but I had to forfeit a fire cycle. But it's all good. I'd rather do that than waste a tier. I don't think I die at all until she does a super attack at the very end. Like I said, I think it's been 2 weeks since I've ran this dungeon solo, or since I've ran this dungeon in general. So I was a little rusty, but kind of forgot that there would be a, a super attack towards the end of the fight. I was kind of just hoping it would be over. It was a little bit of a long one. Yeah, like right here, she's just moving around way too much. Going outside of my damage bubbles. It's just the most annoying thing that she can do. Here she's towards the end of damage phase. I missed my silence, so now I gotta run. Ever since they changed Dogma to where the fire doesn't instantly damage you, this fight honestly kind of became a joke. Back when the dungeon first came out, I'm sure as many of you know, but as many of you might not know, the fire would damage you as soon as she was queued into the attack, like right there, it'd start damaging you. You wouldn't be able to run out of that. You'd have to tank it, and you could really only tank 2 hits. If you tank 2 hits, you're fine, but if you tank 3 hits, then it would do an extra magical attack, and you'd pretty much be dead if you tanked 3 hits. So you had to get out in that first 1 or 2 in order to survive. So you really had to know her patterns by heart back then, because if you got stuck in a fire, you're gonna die. So you had to know before the auto attacks came off, or before, like, if she were to do water from damage phase, then you know you had 2 autos before she did fire. So after 1 auto, then you needed to run. Otherwise, the next auto was finished, she's gonna do fire. And there was a very good chance you would die. Here's coming up on the first set of spawns. Like I said, there's nothing too special, just a bunch of humans. I just want to make sure I can have them all on me. I don't want any of them attacking my cleric, he's not tanky. And I'll just throw in some AoEs. Lose a little bit of single target damage, but they're annoying and I want them dead. So I canceled the water. She's gonna do a lightning after this, so I gotta back up. After this lightning, I didn't mention it yet, but this is the optimal damage phase. She's gonna do a couple autos into a water attack, and then she's gonna do 2 autos out of the water attack, so this is the longest point in time that you have to do damage without her doing either lightning or fire. So this is the safest time to do damage. This is when I try to do my battle cry, this is when I try to do my moonlight. Then, like I said, she does 2 autos, so I usually wait 1 auto, do my silence. If my silence hits, I keep my cleric here. If it misses, I gotta run. Yeah, I was a little late on my cleric, and I missed the silence, so it's just 2 unfortunate scenarios back to back. And he took a little nap on the floor. But it was alright, he had a good nap, he woke back up, he's ready for round 2. There, I got my silence off, so I know that she skips fire, which brings her into a lightning. After lightning is going to be damage phase. I missed the silence again, so I have to wait. As soon as it's safe, I'm going to bring my cleric in, start bashing. You have to wait a little bit after the lightning. Even though you don't see like a lightning and bolt going back and forth, like sometimes you can still die if you walk in too early. It's quite annoying, but you just gotta play a little bit patient. feels really nice to hit the silence after the water damage phase, because then she's gonna do a lightning after that, and it's fine. You can just tank it, get ready for you know, you can place a light orb if you want to or something, and then if you hit your silence again, then you're sitting pretty. So then she's gonna do a water, and waters just have such a long casting time that you can really do anything. You can reposition your cleric if you want to, you can cross, I mean, as soon as she starts the water too, I mean, you only gotta wait like a second and then you can silence, and you're gonna have enough leeway for her to finish the water and for her to have started her fire attack so that it skips it. So you have plenty of leeway on the water attacks. Water attacks are a dream come true. But here you see I'm walking into the corner. Her health is nearing 50%, so I do not want to mess up the spawns. If you mess up the spawns on this fight, it's a nightmare. It's still doable, but having to fight her and the bull at the same time is just a fate worse than death. Like, it's terrible. You don't want to mess up the spawns. I probably played it a little too close there. Like, you saw, it didn't take very long at all for her to spawn, so she was on the edge of spawning that bull. It's the same thing at 25% HP. I'm gonna take her to the other corner. You can get unlucky on the spawns, even if you do take her into the corner. Sometimes, it's very rare, but sometimes she can spawn the bull, like on the front right, towards kind of the entrance. If she does that, then sometimes the bull will hit you where I have Egma. Like, it'll just be close enough to walk to you and hit you, and that just makes it even more annoying, because then there's nothing you can do about it at that point. You have to just, he'll knock you back, he'll get to you, knock you back, and then since you're knocked back, he'll be out of range and he'll walk back to his original location, but he'll keep doing that for the entire duration of the fight, and you just have to deal with it if you get an unlucky spawn. Because in that left corner, you can't really take her all the way in the back. She's gonna, it recognizes that she's like out of range of her arena or something. However the game decides it, either way, she can't go that far behind the pillar on the left side of the arena. On the right side, it's a different story. The right side is so much easier. But the reason that we do the left side first is because it's harder. You want to do the harder one first, that way you're not struggling to get the shepherd spawn while you have a bull attacking you. You'll see when I take her there. I think after, I might battle cry here once. Yeah, because this was water into fire. I skipped the fire, so this will be lightning. So after this lightning, I might battle cry, or I might just take her to the corner. She's getting kind of close, but probably have one more. I could probably do this damage phase. Yeah, it looks like I do this damage phase. I think I saved my moonlight though. I don't think I'll pop my moonlight. Okay, and I got the silence off. So after she does, yeah, so she skipped her fire already, so she's moving into her lightning right now. So I'm trying to get her into the corner before she does lightning. That way I can hit her while she's here. Because she's going to do a fire. I'm not bringing my cleric over here to try and silence her fire this time. Because if that bull attacks my cleric, he's going to kill him. So I'm just going to keep my cleric towards the entrance. And I'm just going to tank the fire this time. If you have your abilities up, it's pretty easy to tank the fire. Especially if you know it's coming. It's not that bad at all. Doing 2 in a row can be a little annoying though. But I got the spawn right there. If you do need to do 2 in a row, it's still doable. You can just solid light shield yourself and call it a day. and then by that time you should have your Shining Earth back up, so that you can do a Shining Earth into a uh, light touch, and that should be enough to take a fire. Uh, Here, yeah, I messed up. I was too busy trying to battle cry into a Moonlight, and I thought she already did lightning. It's tough to see, or it's tough to see when you have her in the corner, and then when you're bringing her out, she's behind you, and you're kind of trying to get her into position, so you're not really paying attention to her. It's very, very easy to lose track of what phase she's on when you're taking her out of the corner. That's usually when I will lose track of something. Like right there, I almost died on my cleric. Very close on my cleric. But coming up, I think I'm going to get another death. I think I actually die on both characters this time because I'm trying to save my cleric. Um, it's really not that big a deal if I die once at the end of the dungeon because it takes, 52 to 55 minutes currently for how I run it, you know. So if I die once, it's not that bad. I mean, I'm gonna have to reset my scrolls anyway, so as soon as I leave the dungeon, I'm gonna have to die. So one death is fine. But ideally you don't want to die at all, because it's slower run at that point, you can just die outside the dungeon. I will be doing another run at some point. I just need the energy to do it. Right now, it's kind of glad pieces or nothing in my eyes. I mean, the drop rate is just so bad. Uh, I really do not care for the way that the loot has been in this dungeon. Same goes for Calzar Jewels. I don't like the way that the loot system is. It's either all or nothing for drops. I much prefer the style of Heart of the Rotting Forest, where every boss typically drops a drop. Yeah, so right here she did super, and I was trying to save my cleric, and I ended up dying on both characters. She starts that attack pretty much at like 10% health left, right around at the health she's at right now. So it's really tough to know when she's gonna do it. I do have a guess on when she does it. I think she does it after a water phase. I wasn't paying attention during that footage. I can look back after this ends. I'll let this play out though, since it's almost done. But here she's doing, she did a super auto right there, or that's what I call it at least, so she's going to do one auto, and then she's going to do that attack again. But if you silence it before she does it, she does the animation, but you can still damage her during it. It's different than the fire, where the fire just completely makes her invincible. But she's dead, that's the run, 52-53, not a bad run. I am gonna go back real quick. I want to look at when she does super. Yeah, so she did water. Just kidding. That's different. There we go, she did lightning. A battle cry. She does water. And then this is super, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I might have a theory. If she does super, it might be after a water. I don't know if she can do a super in her last phase without doing a water first, but I'd have to test that more. That's something I just noticed quite recently, so I'm not sure on that one, but it only happens once a fight, so it's not that big a deal. But either way, 52-53, that's the dungeon. I'll definitely get a better time at some point, but I just don't enjoy the dungeon too much anymore. It's not very worth it. You could get nothing 90% of the time, and then the one time you get a drop, you get a sharpshooter boots, and it's just terrible. So either way, thanks for watching. That's the dungeon. Maybe I'll do an SH or another dungeon if you guys want to see. But yeah, cheers.